She had a heroin pipe.
What?
I
Oh,
did
man.
call the police because I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, wow.
And the police said, I mean, I'll take the heroin, but
He said he'll take the golly.
it's up to you with what you want to do next. Sitting
Oh.
in these facilities that their bill is $100,000.
Yes,
And there's nothing you can do about it. And that's wrong.
that's wrong.
That is very, very, very wrong.
Nope. At Comfort Measures Consulting, we're here to help you navigate the complexity of healthcare. If you're caring for a loved one as a caregiver, you don't have resources, you don't know what questions to ask, you need to have options, right? Give Comfort Measures a call. Give us a chance. First consultation is free. Speak with me, Comfort Measures Consultant, 850-879-2182. You can also visit our website at www.comfortmeasuresconsulting.com. Talk to you soon. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Comfy podcast, where we empower listeners with knowledge and resources to age comfortably. Home of love, peace, joy, but most of all, comfort. I'm your host, Norman Harris, and sole proprietor of the Let's Get Comfy podcast. And we have a wonderful guest today, a wonderful woman. She's an executive professional in the medical field. She has made a great name for herself in the field of nursing home administrator, vice president of operations, social work, and now compliance. In the 10 years she's been in the industry, some of her greatest accomplishments include winning the 2019 Rising Star Award within Greystone Health Management. She also won the 2018 National Eli Pick Award from the American College of Health Care Administrators. As Vice President of Operations, she was able to collaborate with executives to improve quality of care, reduce agency usage, and transition buildings failing operations, survey, and financially to be profitable. On her time off, she speaks quarterly at the University of South Florida to the incoming new healthcare administrators joining the field. So she not only works in healthcare, she also fosters the next generation of leaders. So our special guest today, doing me the honor to joining the show and providing her expertise is Mariela Martinez. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Great.
having me. Thank you for having me.
Great. So wonderful accomplishments you have gained. We've known each other about 3 years.
Mhm.
3 years. So it's a blessing to have you on the show and just to see your growth from the time I met you to where you are now. So
Thank you.
it's great. It's great. You feel proud of yourself?
I am, I think that sometimes we have to toot our own horn, and I toot my own a lot.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's well deserving. So I want to just start off like just how we met initially is really just through connecting on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
I always say, and I said this on a previous show as well, my social media for a while was just LinkedIn. My sibling used to call me lame because I didn't have Facebook or Instagram,
Same, I don't.
any of that. But of course, we're starting an organization and trying to grow. Is sort of in today's time impossible to not have a social media presence, right?
Mhm.
To build a business and a brand. But
Mhm.
just from meeting you there, I mean, it was just the start of just a continuous contact. You
Yeah.
always kept to your word. You always opened the door for opportunities for me to actually come on board with your company and organizations at the time. Just things didn't work out, but you always was pleasant. And just from the individuals that I know in the industry, and they talk about your leadership style and how you foster like their careers and just working with you. I mean, it's just great feedback. So, and I can't say that personally from a lot of people in the industry, but you have that reputation. So
thank you. That means a lot.
yeah, it's the truth. It's the truth. So if you can discuss just your dedication and passion in regards to, working in healthcare.
Mhm. Thank you. That was
Yes.
really kind.
Yeah,
It
for
really
sure.
does mean a lot. So I think the most important thing for working in healthcare, it has it right there in the word, is care. You have to care about it.
Right.
So, I think there's a lot of people that get into the industry for different reasons. It's safe. You'll always have a job.
Right.
Healthcare is not going to be bought out by AI or anything that's coming out. You're always going to physically have a job because there's always going to be people.
Right.
So you have to care. So that is being, caring about your staff. If the staff know that you truly care about them, they're actually going to buy in and give you the result that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You have to care about your residents. If your residents know that you care, they're going to call you and not call any kind of state agency or somebody to come investigate something. They're going to trust you. And then families, your customers, they're going to, if they see that you care, they know, I don't have to worry about it. I'll just call Mariela, I'll call Norman in the morning, and they'll take care of it for me.
Yeah.
So I think caring is the number one result of good success.
Right. Yes, that's great. And so it's a field that fits you, fits your passion, and fit what comes naturally to you. So that's wonderful that you could find, I guess, a place like that for your career as well. But why did you decide to become a nursing home administrator?
It's actually kind of funny. So I was pre-med in college, and in my last 2 semesters, I went ahead and started working for a physician that actually went to different facilities. So he went to nursing homes, he went to assisted living facilities, he went to a bunch of different places. So in visiting these places, I mean, it's really heartbreaking, but you've gone to different places where you see that the quality of care isn't as pristine as others. So in visiting these places, I said, I'm going to do it better than them. And I took the challenge on. So I said, I'm going to do what they're doing, but better, and give a better experience to the residents. And I did.
Wonderful. That's good. Wow. Yeah, I didn't have that story like that. That's very goal oriented, and you accomplished it as well.
I did. I mean, I always say it. This makes me sound cold, but kids aren't my favorite people. Old people are my favorite people. I love old people.
Yes.
So I didn't grow up with any grandparents. They all passed away by the age of 4.
Wow.
So I just always had an affinity towards the older community. So seeing them, some of the quality of things that I saw back then, and this was, years ago, more regs are in place right now to make sure some of the things don't happen. So I just made sure that I did it better than what I saw.
Wow, that's good. My I guess start and I didn't even realize that it was indirectly was with my grandmother. Just she was evangelist, so she would always my uncle was in the nursing home, River Chase nursing home. It's in my home city. So my uncle was in there for years, so she would volunteer there. And over the summers I was with her during the day. So for years we would always go to the nursing home. Sometimes I liked it, sometimes I used to like, no, I want to go, but we didn't have a choice. We went. And just that really started my experience of like just being around residents there and customers and just bringing smiles and joy to their faces, and understanding the impact. But I did not realize at the time that it was a full-on business and organization, so that really came later on. But it's good to see that you were able to connect something to, just a story, just have a passion for it, So right now, what do you currently do? What's your current role?
So right now I am the vice president of compliance for my company. My company actually has 48 buildings across Florida.
Wow.
So I do compliance for the whole company. Compliance means that, I'm looking through all the contracts to make sure that we're compliant in any, facet that has to do with legal. I am involved with all the legal cases that we have right now. I'm also making sure that anything that has to do with any surveys that could go up to litigation, that goes through me too. Anything with risk goes through me.
Wow.
As well as anything that has to do with like customer service. So let's just say if a facility has something that a family member or resident's not happy with, I'm the first call to make sure that I intervene, to make sure I'm an unbiased party to come up with a healthy resolution.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow. So you speak currently to USF students. So if you would have one statement to them right now, right in this moment, about how would they, if they had aspirations to become vice president of compliance for an organization, what would you say to them?
Hmm. Well, I would first say see what field you're going to be passionate about, because compliance it is multifaceted. So you have to make sure that you understand the industry that you're going to be over the compliance officer of that,
Hmm.
and make sure that you are unbiased about it. Because as compliance, you can't put your personal sentiments, and you can't just kind of sway any kind of way. Because
Hmm.
not only yourself, but you have your company's um, legally in your
Right,
hands.
right.
So if you're signing something that's not compliant, or if you're looking at something that's going to be an anti kickback and you just kind of turn your shoulder, that's a lot of people that could go to jail for that.
Wow.
So you have to take it very seriously,
Hmm.
and just make sure you're passionate about it.
That's good. Thank you.
Hmm.
Great. All right. So, just getting a little bit about you. Where are you from, Mariela?
Hmm. I was actually born here in Tampa, Florida.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm a Florida girl, love it. I might move a little bit around, but always come back to Florida. And then at 5 years old, I did move to the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
We stayed there for a few years, and when it was time for me and my sisters to go to college, my family moved back so we can start going to college.
Wow. Wow. What
Yeah.
do you think that transition to Dominican Republic? How that did that impact your life at all? Like
Oh
just
yeah.
your upbringing? How did that happen?
Oh
Or
yeah.
what happened?
So my both of my parents are American citizens.
Hmm.
They've been here for a very. My mom was Puerto Rican. She was actually born in New York, raised here. My dad came to this country when he was 18. Um,
Okay.
but he really wanted us, his children, his four children, to see that the world isn't the same as America, which it's not. And that's why I love international travel, and I
Okay.
encourage everybody to do it, because you think you know how the world runs, but it doesn't run the way it does here. So you're made aware of, the struggles other people have.
Hmm.
And it just shapes you. It shapes you a little bit differently. Even right now, when I'm having a bad day, I just think how lucky I am to be able to work, to be able to read, to be able to get educated, to be able to say, no, I don't want to do that. In other countries, especially women, they cannot do that.
Mm.
So I just remind myself how I'm privileged to be able to make decisions like that.
Wow.
So it does shape you,
Mhm.
going to school over there, um, even just running water. When I lived over there, we didn't have just tap normal running water. You
Wow.
had to get the water from the well to take a shower. So that, changes you and your day
Mhm.
to day life. It
Right.
impacts you. So I'm so grateful my parents did that.
That's really good. That's a
Hmm.
good story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so school. Tell me about how you were you in school? Like, you a good kid, bad, suspended from school a lot.
No, I was actually a great kid.
Yeah,
My family says I was the easiest of the four. I've just always been focused. I love to read my whole life. I didn't really watch so much TV. We read a lot.
that's good.
Um, and then when high school came around, I did start working very early. I already started working full time when I was in high school at
Really?
15.
Okay.
And
Where you work at? Winn Dixon?
I actually worked at daycare.
Really? Okay.
I did.
I know where we're from. Everybody was going to work at Winn Dixon
Yeah.
at 15. You had to have a waiver and everything to work early.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I worked at a daycare, and then by the time I turned, I think 18 or 19, I was already the manager of the daycare as soon as I was of age.
Yeah, because they have people leaving all the time, huh?
Yeah.
19 years old, you just running thing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I did. But yeah, I just love school. And then after I graduated from high school, I went to community college.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to University of South Florida.
University of South Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
This year, I paid off all my student debt.
Really?
That was my 2024 goal.
Wow.
I did.
Congratulations
So
to
that's an
that.
accomplishment.
Wow.
I
That's re-
actually didn't have that much. I paid as I went to school.
that's really good.
Hmm.
Wow. I was very irresponsible.
Yeah.
Very, yeah.
No, at times I worked two jobs, and then I would kind of put it on a credit card, pay it off by the end of the semester. And I just did every semester like that. I encourage you guys to do that. It is a little stressful, but then when you graduate, like I only had like 12,000.
Right. See, be more like Mariela and not like Norman, okay?
I didn't want to have no $40,000-$50,000 in debt right off the bat.
Right. So just made me feel even worse, Mariela. Thanks a lot.
Everybody has their
Thanks.
own goals.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing that though. That's really good though.
Thank you.
What are some of your hobbies?
I travel a lot. We have, some mutual friends. I got everybody doing this, especially as an administrator. You have a lot of stress. So I have this rule that I take one vacation a month. Wow. Always.
That's really good.
I leave Friday after work, so I might leave the building at 3, and then I'm back to work by Monday. Whether that means I slept all weekend or not, I'm taking a vacation.
That's really good.
I do.
I wish somebody would have informed me of that, and I really did it, because it really will burn you out really quickly, So
I would say that's my biggest hobby, and family, God, and building a community.
Where did you go last, though? What was your last trip?
Well, I'm leaving next week to New York.
New York, okay.
But my last trip before that one was Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, wow.
Yeah, last month.
You take it serious. That's really good. That's very important. I actually did a call with Debbie Franklin with an intern, and that's one of the things I shared with her as well was like, when you get into the role, make sure you dedicate your time with time management, but also enforcing work-life balance measures, like making sure you stick to those things, though.
Yeah, you have to. The life of an administrator, and that's why I talk to the students to make sure it's a good fit, because it is very stressful.
Yes.
In every facet. I mean, people don't even realize how much noise you hear. So my family says it's strange because I come home and I don't listen to anything. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to TV. I like silence. And it's because you don't realize how many things you're listening to in a day. Bells, call bells, the intercom, the sirens. It's just everything. So you have to find a way to center yourself and find out what centers yourself.
Wow.
Mine is just peace.
That's good. All right, so it's a game here. I'm gonna sort of interrupt the show to play, but it goes in more into detail regarding Mariela, because I want to highlight you. So first one it's called 7 Versions of Me. All right, the first one is Mariela. What's your viewpoint on marriage?
I think that if you are going to commit to a marriage, you need to be serious about it.
Okay.
I think that people don't take that commitment as serious as they should. And it's because, divorce here is nothing. You sign a piece of paper and you're easily detached from the person, when the communion of marriage is supposed to be more important than that. So I think you take it seriously and be committed, and really ensure to put your partner's needs as well as your needs first.
Good. Mariela, do you have a sibling? Mariela, as a sibling, how would you say?
I am very loyal.
Very loyal? Okay.
And I always have a listening ear to whatever they may have going on.
Good. Parenting, your viewpoint on that?
I don't like them. I'm not that bad. I just like to use that as a joke.
Right.
Parenting, I think that you should be disciplined but soft at the same time. Yes. So find a balance within being soft and still disciplined. And I say that because the world is hard, Yeah. So you have to have that trust within your child, I would say, to make sure they know where to come back to.
Right.
Even if they fall off a path, they know that they're welcome to come back.
Exactly. My philosophy is 90% of love, 10% of discipline. But you got to be fierce in that 10% of discipline. Yeah. You as a daughter?
As a daughter, I would say I'm very thoughtful and respectful.
Thoughtful and respectful. That's good. And Mariela, as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, well, that's always evolving. I think that you have to look at where you are in your current state of life and your mental health to make sure that it aligns with what your goals are. So I would say it evolves. I on the side, I flip houses where I buy houses, fix them, and sell them. Whereas, before I could have done a couple at a time, Whereas maybe now with, what you might have going on, maybe I might do one a year or one every other year. So it just evolves to make sure that you maintain with your passion.
Good. And Mariella, impact on your community?
I would say I would hope that I'm just an example, a good example for a lot of different people.
Mhm.
Good example for women in the business. Good example for women of color. A good example for a young professional. Just a good example overall.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you became a nursing home administrator.
Mhm.
So you shared your life. What actually impact your decision in regards to honestly your career field, your designation, or what you chose to do? But what advice you would have for someone that was it's a brand new administrator, just becoming a nursing home administrator?
Mhm. I would say to be take it seriously, firstly,
Yes.
because there's a lot of, especially now that I'm in compliance, you can say the legal implications that could
Mm,
come from it. But I would say take it seriously and be passionate about it. To be transparent, there's a lot of jobs that pay the same nowadays as what administrators are doing, and administrators have a hard job. So get in it for the right reasons, care about your clientele, and you'll be successful.
yes. Thank you. And that being stated, there's a increased approach, I guess, in regards to Florida healthcare and on just fostering the growth of the next generation of caregivers. Of course, Florida's population
Hmm.
is already increasing, but just the number of individuals going into the healthcare field is not, I guess, sort of matching that.
Hmm.
So, why do you think there's a decrease in some of the younger individuals entering the healthcare industry?
I think there's a lot of reasons. I mean, it's a hard job. If you think about it, let's just say a CNA. A CNA has a very hard physical labor job.
Mhm.
So nowadays, a lot of companies are throwing out a lot of big money where a CNA might see that I can make the same amount or more over here than here.
Mm,
So I think that, like I said, you have to build your community in a facility and people will come to you.
all right, that is true. That's very true. Is there anything that you can suggest in regards to tackling that trend? Like,
Keeping open communication. I
mhm,
love bringing volunteers to the building so they
that's
can see
good.
what
Yep.
you actually do,
Hmm.
being candid about it. Um, being candid and make sure that everybody knows, everybody has a job in this community
Yep.
and it's for a better cause, the
Right.
bigger cause. So I think to combat that, really just talking, having open conversations.
Right.
I think the media makes nursing homes look bad.
Yes, they
Let's
do.
just be
They
honest.
do.
They make us look really, really bad
Hmm.
and they don't see everything that we really do provide and do
Right.
because we do a lot.
Hmm.
They don't show that there's residents that haven't had a visitor in 3 years. So
Exactly.
we're there sitting, doing birthday parties, holding them when they want to be held,
Yep.
giving them a hug. Yeah, they don't see all that.
Hmm.
They just see us, as kind of monsters sometimes. So
Right.
talk about it.
Exactly. My thing is with that, that's a wonderful standpoint that you made. It does it also the sort of the legal being that you're in compliance, the legal implications that can occur. Does that sort of hinder I guess organizations from like going back to sort of like back in the old days, I guess, where nursing home and skilled nursing facilities can be more open to the public and have that access and welcome kids more often,
Yeah.
doing those type of things where it makes it is why it's not like this so God
Hmm.
forbidden written, place to be.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
It's sad.
Yeah.
I could say when I first started as administrator, I had a party every month, literally a party at my facility every single month. I'm not lying. The doctors would come, families would come. We had family night and we would be there till 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
We can't do that anymore, not with
Mm,
the new increased regs, but you can still alter that to make it work for the building. So right now, and let's just say our company, we do family night still once a month.
mhm.
Um, but it might be, make sure your COVID precautions are up, make sure everybody's, uh, you're seeing it to make sure they're not sick or bringing some sickness in.
Right.
And you might do like an hour lunch and still try to have that sense of community.
Try, yes, yes. So it's good to see that it's still options out there and
Hmm.
alternatives being made to sort of bring that, but it's still just not quite the same.
No, it's not.
Why don't we see more of skilled nursing facilities marketing, like in the community more? Like you see the hospitals or
Yeah.
a new wellness clinic. They may be on a billboard driving down the road,
Yeah.
or in a they're in some magazines, I guess. That's basically catered to
Hmm.
the industry, but why don't you see it more in healthcare in the industry more, or in just in social media ads and those type of things?
A part of it, and I say this because I was VP of operations, where our profit margins aren't as lucrative as people may think.
Mm,
So, what we're profiting, a lot of the buildings try to put it back in. Or maybe we put that money that we're profiting back into, I'd rather pay my staff more than use that money for advertisement.
yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, there could be a lot of different answers to that, but uh, I have seen it where it's not as lucrative as you think it is.
Yep, yep, I know for sure. And misconceptions regarding, just give me your top two that you could think of misconceptions regarding skilled nursing facilities, but also and answer the question: is there a perfect sniff out there?
Misconceptions, I kind of touched on it, but I mean, I love what I see and what I do because we can really impact the elderly. Because you'd be surprised about how many residents we have. I've had buildings where in a week maybe we got 10 visitors.
Yeah,
It's sad.
that's true.
We greatly impact our residents day to day, and putting that smile, making sure they say, "Oh, you look nice today," or something like that.
Right.
So that's, I think, a misconception that we have,
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like is false. And then perfect skill nursing, we're in the business of people and we work with people, so there's always going to be mistakes and flaws.
Exactly.
But communication is what I would say is could make a facility close to perfect.
Right.
So, like I said, you maintain communication. So, I trust Norman, I trust Mariela. So, I don't like that this nurse might have done this, or they didn't tell me that she refused therapy today. But I know I can call them in the morning and say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
involve me next time. So, yes, we made a mistake, but there's a quick fix to that mistake, and that makes it close to perfect.
Right, exactly. So that's one the reason why I posed that question and wanted to ask you is because I always used to have the joke with my team in the morning meeting, and I'm gonna say this for the audience, I am a transparent person, is that we sometimes think, I guess families, I guess, come in thinking it's the Ritz Carlton,
Yeah.
you know,
Or when they've fallen 10 times at home and then say, why did they fall here?
why they fall
You
here.
know?
Yeah, so it's not like a magic door, right? That they just walk through and
Hmm.
entering a skilled nurse facility. Same thing with the hospitals as well, right?
Hmm.
They go into the hospital. They probably, if they stay there long enough, right, they're gonna fall there as well, right? And they
Hmm.
have the more upscale, devices, equipment, and all of those things, right,
Hmm.
accessible to them there. So,
But
uh,
I think that's a part of the communication. So when they come in, you have your entrance meeting with them to say,
yes,
this is what you can expect.
hmm
This is what's realistic. And this is the plan that we have for the individual care plan for your
right.
resident. Because, sometimes this is their first time too.
Yes,
A
that's
lot of
right.
families, they've
hmm
never been through this. They don't understand the process. So it is our responsibility to make sure they
Make sure they
understand.
understand it. Yes.
Make sure they understand that mom may could walk 200 feet when she leaves, but she won't be able to walk and down those stairs that she has. So let's
Right.
transition into more appropriate housing for her,
Right.
or maybe move her bedroom downstairs. So it's our responsibility to make sure that they understand that.
Yes. I will say that is like the key piece and vital piece for in regards to families. Definitely, like you stated, families that first time experiencing this,
Hmm.
right? They're going through a lot of transitions, whether as far as finding out coverage, right? Payer sources, a legal
Yes.
framework, all of those aspects that they're dealing with at the time. So it's the onus on us to make sure we explain the process and set
Hmm.
proper expectations, right, and have
Mhm.
follow through on those expectations
Mhm.
as well. So, but that's I really wanted to go that topic because it goes a little both ways, right? If
Mhm.
we communicate effectively, it definitely can change
Mhm.
the outcomes, right? But also expectations when actually entering to a skilled nursing facility.
Mhm.
So, um, so some of the raw truths. I know you touched on the financials in regards to having that piece to market it out to the community. Um, but what does the financial framework actually entails in regard of devices, equipment, and all of those things, right?
Mhm.
Accessible to them there. So uh,
But I think that's a part of the communication. So when they come in, you have your entrance meeting with them to say,
yes.
"This is what you can expect.
Hmm.
This is what's realistic, and this is the plan that we have for the individual care plan for your
Right.
resident." Because sometimes this is their first time too.
Yes,
A
that's
lot of
right.
families, they've
Hmm.
never been through this, they don't understand the process, so it is our responsibility to make sure they
Make sure they
understand.
understand it. Yes.
Make sure they understand that mom may could walk 200 feet when she leaves, but she won't be able to walk down those stairs that she has. So let's
Right.
transition into more appropriate housing for her,
Right.
or maybe move her bedroom downstairs. So it's our responsibility to make sure that they understand that.
Yes. I will say that is like the key piece and vital piece for in regards to families. Definitely, like you stated, families their first time experiencing this,
Hmm.
right? They're going through a lot of transitions, whether as far as finding out coverage, right? Payer sources, legal
Yes.
framework, all of those aspects that they're dealing with at the time. So it's the onus on us to make sure we explain the process and set
Hmm.
proper expectations, right? And have
Hmm.
follow through on those expectations
Hmm.
as well. So, but that's I really wanted to go that topic because it goes a little both ways, right?
Hmm.
We communicate effectively. It definitely can change
Hmm.
the outcomes, right? But also expectations when actually entering to a skilled nursing facility.
Hmm.
So, um, so some of the raw truths. I know you touched on the financials in regards to having that piece to market it out to the community. But what does the financial framework actually entails in regards to putting money back into facilities. Like,
Hmm.
because you may see hospitals all the time, they add an additional unit. They roll out brand new vans for transportation and everything,
Hmm.
but just going to the factor of just how confined, I guess, financial operations piece
Hmm.
is in skilled nursing.
So the biggest expense with any building is labor.
Right.
So,
Yes.
and after COVID, let's be honest, labor has jumped sometimes to double.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that is a staff member won't pick up, they refuse to unless they get a bonus,
Mm-hmm.
or we had to raise the minimum wage. We also had to be competitive. So that is your biggest expense at any building. And then on top of that, I mean, there's a lot of things we have to pay for. Let's just say you get your survey and your survey comes in. There might be fines associated with that. There might be things that you just have to improve.
Right.
Call bell system. You might be an older building. A lot of our buildings are 50, 70 years old. Those call bell systems aren't compatible anymore. So
Right.
you might have to change the call bell system or the fire alarm system, or
And those things are very expensive.
they are.
Very expensive.
These are upwards of $100,000.
Yes, for sure. Yep.
So there is a lot of expenses. I mean, we've taken over a couple of buildings that were in uh, trouble when it
Mhm.
came to survey management, and those some of those bills are 600, $800,000
Wow.
just to keep the doors open with that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of expenses,
Hmm.
but I've always just said if you have a good product, people will come to you.
Yes, that's true. If you had 2 points, right, that will impact skilled nursing that you can state to a decision maker,
Mhm.
lawmaker, right, one of our governmental officials, what would
Yeah,
it be?
I am very passionate about this one, and this will actually be my next probably a thing that I'm going to pursue. But um, it's the residents who do not have an advocate or basically are indigent. A lot of people don't know, but all the nursing homes and facilities were absorbing all of that cost at 100%.
Wow.
So it's not like you can just, you get Medicaid, you get Medicaid. It is not like that. The
Mm,
Medicaid process is extremely strict in what they will approve and what they will provide. But then again, we are not allowed to discharge people.
no.
So, unless we have a safe discharge.
Hmm.
So, let's just say we get somebody and they say, I'm not paying you. I'm never going to pay you. And you can't kick me out. We can't.
You can't. You can't.
So, you have some residents sitting in these facilities that their bill is $100,000
Yes,
and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's wrong.
that's wrong.
That is very, very, very wrong.
Nope.
I understand that, yes, you can't trust every facility or everybody,
Exactly.
but assign somebody to the case. Assign them. We'll work with you, and we'd keep the patient under Medicaid, but care isn't free, labor isn't free, supplies aren't free, and there's a lot of patients who are just getting free care.
Right. But then they go, but as the consumer or the customers, the families, you're entering, and I'm bringing this from the financial topic. You enter into these facilities, and you may not see the best flooring or the best painting or the best those upgrades that you'll see when you walk into the hospitals
Mhm.
or some of these wellness spas.
Mhm.
That's a lot of that's the reason why what you just
Oh yeah,
stated.
and even some people that we do have payers, let's just say a managed care payer.
Mm-hmm.
So far this year, we're only right now in mid-year. And I can say I've seen it with my company. We're already $4 million in write-offs
Wow.
because of either takebacks or the insurance provider saying, "Yes, I gave you an off, but I'm going to take it back." So there's a lot of things that happen in the background.
A lot of things, and again, resources, knowledge, and insight is what I wanted to provide with this
Hmm.
platform. What you stated there, I have not heard on anywhere.
Oh yeah.
I haven't read it.
Hmm. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
The takebacks, or even you'll get an audit 2 years later for care you provided 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and it could be from anybody from CMS or the
Yes.
insurance provider. They'll look at it, look at your notes, and say, "I'm not going to cover that."
Yeah.
So it happens a lot.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you for sharing
of
that. That's a
course.
wonderful
And
point.
that's actually why some communities have turned into total private pay
Mm.
or just Medicare. And it's not because they want to. It's not because they're trying to be selective with certain residents. It's because that's financial toll on the
Yes,
company.
exactly. And that goes into my next question, which I have. Why in your opinion there has been such a trend and a push in regards to aging in place? I understand preferences, the right of the patient, what they desire.
Hmm.
Also, it's more suiting in some cases, health wise, right?
Yeah.
For a person to, I guess, be more stable in their natural environment where they really
Yeah.
desire to be.
Hmm.
But I do know that there's a flip side of that, and there's another motive in regards to it. That's just my personal feeling
Hmm.
in regards to aging in place, right? And there's also a higher concentration on assisted living facilities as well, in comparison to the option of skilled nursing.
Hmm.
Your thoughts on that?
I'm a big advocate on aging in place.
Yes.
I really think that nursing homes should be your last.
Mm,
I cannot do it at home anymore,
right.
or the assisted living, my acuity is too high and I can't stay in assisted living.
I agree.
And the only reason why I say that is um, your dignity, your dignity of being able to be independent
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just be safe and as independent as possible for as long as possible.
Yes.
Now, there comes a time, a lot of our residents are Hoyer lift patients. Their spouses cannot safely operate a Hoyer at home,
Mm-hmm.
or they can't safely toilet them at home. That's when you have to have those conversations to say realistically, to keep myself safe and my health safe, what can I do for my spouse or my father or things like that. Another
Yes.
part of it is also the adult children.
Mm,
What are you supposed to do if you're only 40 or 50 and your parent needs full-time care at home and you have to work?
right.
What are you
Yes.
supposed to do?
Right.
So there's just different conversations that you have to have realistically and see um, what works best for the family. But I do agree you should age in place as long as you can, for as long as it's safe for you and the person who's a caregiver.
Exactly. I agree with that too.
Hmm.
I definitely agree with the aging in place. And the trend of it being I guess that could actually be the balance in between just the decrease in the sort of younger or youth going into the care field as well, you know. Because if you have less people going into nursing or healthcare, there's more people aging in place. That sort of fits more. So they're, you know, they're having that greater need, I guess, in the
Mm-hmm.
field. But I do think that uh, skilled nursing facilities are definitely needed.
Oh yeah.
But it's definitely needed, and it should be just something that is more funded. I think, you know, just some of the things that you have unveiled here today is just all the reasons why, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what future advancements in healthcare are you most excited about?
Oh, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Well, I think that well, there's already been some things that have been implemented that I've liked. I just said I'm huge on communication,
Yeah.
and with the increased technology, it has made it easier to communicate with family members and residents. You know, now you could by click of a button send them an update. You know,
Yep.
we're in Florida, so we have a lot of storms and hurricanes.
Yes.
So you can send a button to say, you know, your loved one is safe. I'll let you know if we go into generator mode.
Right.
Here's my cell phone if you need anything.
Hmm.
So those kind of things are exciting. And I think to come, there might be just more advanced technology when it comes to the equipment that we use.
Hmm.
You know, have you ever been on a Hoyer lift?
No, but I've used it to. I
It's
know.
not comfortable.
Yeah,
You
gotcha.
know, if you've ever sat on it and imagine you're in your 90s already in pain, you know.
Oh wow,
So
the
things like that.
straps and just the weighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
So I'm excited for, you know, for more advanced technology to make the quality of life for the residents better.
that's really good. Yeah.
Or even like the mattresses, you know, just different stuff like that.
Hmm.
I feel like you kind of see it in other countries sometimes, like on TikTok or whatnot.
Right.
So I'm excited to get that stuff here.
That's good. That's good. I think that's a need for sure.
Hmm.
Is more advancement. I think there's good companies out there that's trying to do so, but again, you have to have the assets, right,
Hmm.
to be able to sort of follow those advancements and
Hmm.
be able to afford them. Um, my next question is it's about laughter and learning. So this is a topic here. All right. So what is the most unusual item you found in a patient's room during a compliance check?
There's a lot of funny ones.
Yeah.
Um, well, I would say the one that made me laugh the most, and this probably isn't funny, but you know, we get young patients all the time, and
Mhm.
sometimes they're there for a reason where they might, you know, be have some addictions.
Right.
But I actually had a she was I think 96 or 97. She had a heroin pipe.
What?
I
Oh
did
man.
call the police because I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh wow.
And the police said, I mean, I'll take the heroin,
He said he'll take the golly.
it's up to you with what you want to do next. And they
Oh
left.
man.
But she was just this happy lady. She had just admitted the day before.
Mm.
And we were cleaning and, you know, explaining how the stay is going to be. And she was open about it.
Wow.
So I feel like that just because of her age
Right.
was the most shocking. But I mean, you see funny stuff all the time.
All the time, man. All the
I
time.
love the animals,
The one
the
that
fake
has like the
ones.
heartbeat, like the little
Yeah, I
cat that's
love
in the
those.
I
Yep.
can't remember.
Sometimes the babies scare me.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, the little babies.
the older ladies that have the
Mm-hmm.
babies, those are a little scary sometimes. But
Yeah.
I love the animal ones.
Yeah, the dog like I had one activities director I worked with I was just about to call her name, but she would bring her pets, like
Uh-huh.
dogs, and I mean, they used to line up at her door waiting. So when she arrived in the morning, they wanted to be
Uh-huh.
first, and they hold the dog all day long. That's the most spoiled little
Yeah.
dog I ever seen.
I actually have a great case study on that. But
Really?
also with those, and it's good to ask questions and communicate because your site providers, a lot of time they'll provide it for the resident and it's covered under the insurance
Wow.
to provide those animals, not real ones, but the fake ones for
Yeah,
emotional support.
emotional support.
Yeah, and it's
Okay,
actually covered.
that's really good.
Hmm.
All right. The next one is Let me make sure I ask one that's appropriate, huh? If you could turn one of your facilities into a luxury spa for a day, what would some of the amenities you would add?
Well, to be honest, I have some buildings that are pretty
Yeah,
luxurious.
really?
Oh yeah, some
Okay.
of them they are like the Ritz Carlton,
Uh huh.
but we try to provide the same amount of care to everybody.
Hmm.
I would say a luxury spa. The biggest thing is concierge, and you can do that with any building. So having a person, I like to do CNA because then they can help,
Yes,
but a person that's just on call all the time. So you can press a button to say, I need this, or I want this, or my concierge. I've always had a concierge in every building. I think it's worth it.
it is.
Even if I say, you have a budget of $200 this week to buy this person Outback or this person a steak, or
Hmm.
just to make them feel like there's something to look forward to.
Hmm.
So I would say that is something that's invaluable.
It is. And also that first initial introduction to facilities
Hmm.
as well. So other leadership out there, skilled nursing
Yeah.
facilities, if you can add that to your budget of having the
Yes.
concierge, is
And the
definitely
right
worth
one.
it. The right one, yes. A lot of times you have tenured staff that would fit in that role,
Yes.
some cases, especially those individuals that really just take ownership and love where they
Hmm.
work.
Hmm.
If you find wonderful CNAs or LPNs or RNs that is that case, but a lot of times it's CNAs
Hmm.
that will take ownership of that role. Like
Hmm.
it's very important. I agree with you.
Yes,
That's
I
very
feel
good.
like that's the most. I think that's worth more than having scented towels or
I
cookies
agree.
up front. I think having somebody you can just dial 9 and it goes straight to a real person.
Yes.
I'm scared. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Can you help me dial my daughter?
Right.
Somebody at your fingertips. That's really important. And
It
if you
is.
see like Hilton and Marriott, all these hotels, they're starting to do that.
Yep. They'll have concierge a whole little desk over there
Oh, you get
side room.
text messages now. I
Oh
just checked
yes.
into Marriott, and as soon as I checked in, I already got, "Hi, my name is Sharon, and I'm
Hmm.
here. I'm your concierge."
Yeah, we stayed at a recent location as well, and they had the text message. Oh, we
Yep,
want need some more towels, and
yep.
yep,
It's
right away.
nice.
That's very good. You're right.
It's
Like, you're
nice.
right to have that, and then just think about the entry point to the facility. Just having them knowing where to go,
Yep.
direct them to the area. That's really good. That's a good one. I like that one.
Hmm.
All right, so my next question for you is comfort and safety measures.
Hmm.
As a nursing home administrator, those are two vital points there that we oversee, right? What makes you serve better as a nursing home administrator in regards to providing a safety for your residents? Whether it was you staying on top in regards to being educated and completing your CEUs,
Hmm.
or what some of the measures you took, as a nursing home administrator to ensure resident safety.
First word that I think about is inclusion. It's not just me as administrator; it's everybody.
Mhm.
So we do have to have a safety committee, and not just your maintenance, your director of nursing, your everybody. I grab CNAs, I grab
Mhm.
nurses, housekeeping, all of us. We're all going to get educated on the subject,
Right.
and a lot of your communities have. The annual meeting or quarterly meeting with the police department, with everybody. Go to your
Yes.
coalition meetings, join them so you can know what's new and what's happening in the community.
So partner with like local police and
Hmm.
fire department, and welcome them in to
Hmm.
whether there's a potluck event that
Yep.
you're having, or anything that you're celebrating, is really good to include those
Hmm.
local emergency management team,
Yep.
to those
And just be friendly to them too. They can help you.
yes.
Like I said, there's hurricanes. We're in Florida, so send them messages. Say, hey, my facility's good. You don't have to worry about us. We have all supplies. So if you'd like to come by, come by. But we are good here. It really leaves an impact.
Right. I learned about that just partnering with when I was in Polk County.
Hmm.
Like I think they're in Lakeland. Like we had a sort of a security concern at one of the facilities, and if you don't have the budget to pay for sort of like security police officers to come and monitor,
Hmm.
they had like a watch list.
Hmm.
You can get on their watch list, and they'll have
Oh yeah.
a police officer in their area at least round at your
Hmm.
facility. But if you don't partner with them or communicate, you never know that's even an option
Hmm.
available. So Um,
Or even your Department of Health. They have supplies there in case of an emergency too,
yes.
just for that stuff.
Yep, you're right. Department of Health, definitely a big factor.
Hmm.
I remember my liaison, she was great too.
Hmm.
I forget her last name. Patel. Yeah, that was her last name. Shout out to you, Miss Patel. If you watch this, thank you so much. I just call your last name, okay? All right. What are some of the funniest communications you've had between just you and your staff? Because just I always believe in operating as a team and just having fun. Just what are some of the fun activities or communication that you would do with them? Just,
So many.
because you can learn, right,
Yeah.
and provide education at the same time. That's probably my learning style, so that's why I just
Uh-huh.
assume everybody else is like that. But
Yeah, so many to be honest. I like doing monthly team building. So
mhm.
whether that's go bowling, go out for some wings, um, there's just so many. Doing funny gifts, like doing the what's it called, the white elephant, but make
Yes,
it like funny. It could be from the dollar store, funny things, but it makes them laugh, you know.
yeah,
So I mean, there's just I have too many.
too many,
I
yeah.
can think of so
I
many.
wasn't good with that, like far as like birthdays and stuff, keeping track. I was terrible doing that. I would have like my HR, someone
Yeah.
else to like keep track
So
of.
I live by my calendar. So
Me
as soon
too.
as I go to my building,
Mhm.
I have HR give me the list, and right then and there, that first week I'm an administrator, I put everybody's birthday on my calendar.
That's good.
So I
See,
just have it, and it makes a difference. And I do have to say, a lot of administrators forget this. Don't treat one differently than the
I
other.
know. That's why I didn't want to keep up with it.
Uh
I said,
huh.
you know what? If I do someone else's birthday
Yeah.
different, it's gonna be just. I was like, you know what? I'm just stay out of it, not even
Yeah.
do it. But I'll let HR just tell me, and then that's how I do
Yeah.
it. So that's how I did it.
So I always just do the same thing or something similar to make
Right?
sure that everybody feels special.
Yeah, they
But
watching out for that favoritism.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you do that. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. That's really good. Um, my next question for you is in regards to just building a team. So if you go into facility, I think one thing that I feel like is very impactful for any organization, not just for skilled nursing, is having a team there and be able to build
Hmm.
continuity with each other,
Hmm.
understanding how each the strong suits, understanding our practices, how we work together and gel together. But a lot of times in skilled nursing, you don't get that time to do it. You know,
You have to prioritize it, I would say. I've been very fortunate to say that I've had just incredible teams. I wouldn't have any of my success without my teams.
no,
You do have to build on it, you know,
I
you
know.
have to ensure that you know what this person is like, this person doesn't like,
Hmm.
and make sure that you empower all your individuals to make sure that they know that they're a contributing factor in this community.
Yes,
So I can't do this without you.
right.
So everybody has their role in the village.
You're right, 100%. So if you have a new administrator, right, coming in to a new role, at
Hmm.
24 years old, your DON has been there 20 years. She's 52. Your ADON might be 45. Your unit manager, I'm just throwing number ages
Yeah,
out here,
yeah.
right? But you're 24 years, 25
Hmm.
years old, and you're leading this team.
Yep. I dealt with that.
Yeah,
I
you
dealt with
tell.
this all the time.
Yeah, share
I
that,
would have
please.
to say just maintain professionalism
Mhm.
at all times because everybody's always looking at you.
Yes.
So you just have to make sure that you're being professional all times. And remember that you have very skilled, educated executives in your building. You don't have to try to micromanage everything.
No.
Like, look to see what's going right, what needs improvement, and then pivot from there.
Hmm.
You know, just because you're going to a building doesn't mean, well, I have to see what nursing's doing. Nursing might be fine.
I know.
So that DON that's been there for 20 years, her last survey was maybe one or two citations. You should know that you don't have to be up that person's back. You know, see what you can contribute to the
Mhm.
facility and go from there.
Right.
And I think that's something a lot of administrators kind of do wrong. They say, I'm going to, go in there and be the boss or
Hmm.
shake some things up when you don't always have to do that.
Hmm.
You know, you have to really observe and pivot from there.
Right. My initial presentation to my every facility I start at was, I don't have like this already created team that I'm bringing with me.
Yeah.
No, if you're good, you do your job and work.
Hmm.
I can work with anybody. I feel as long as you're willing. I say,
Hmm.
as long as you're willing. willing to work hard, willing to adapt,
Yeah.
willing to be good, dedicated, you're going to be here.
I know they said I've never fired anybody. They fired themselves.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's true. So I have some surprise questions for you, and we'll get to that now. If I get here in my phone, all right. So the first question is: that's my answer. You get 5 seconds to answer.
Okay.
All right. If you could go on a date with any celebrity, who would it be?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't think you was playing Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be like
all right.
He gonna do it
active
too good of a
celebrity.
date. He gonna just I don't know what dating Jesus would be like.
All right, probably Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. Yeah, you think Barack Obama smoked cigs? At the tell All right, so I might have to take that out, huh? But so Cardi B, Cardi B or Beyonce?
For what?
Just music wise.
I don't know.
Music?
If I'm at the gym, Cardi B.
Cardi B,
Beyonce
okay.
if I'm with my family. So.
All right, got you. Chicken or seafood?
Seafood.
Seafood? You don't like chicken?
I do like chicken, but I don't like to cook it.
Really?
I cook seafood.
But you don't cook fried chicken?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But you don't like to cook it because you gotta clean the chicken. What part? I don't like that. I love chicken. What you got against chicken?
You know what? It's the smell. I don't know why. I'm really weird with smells. All my buildings as administrator, they all know this.
Really?
I have such a sensitive nose. It's really, really sensitive. You would think seafood grosses me out, but there's something about the chicken smell.
Really? Okay.
So I gotta put a lot of lemon, clean it real good, because I'll gag.
Yeah, I use white distilled vinegar, lime, and baking soda too. Yeah, I use baking soda on mine.
I'm so finicky that even at my buildings, there's some flowers you can't buy. I got a sensitive nose. I'm just being real.
Really? Okay. Tim McGraw or Elvis Presley?
Tim McGraw.
Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee.
Gotcha. Okay. Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
All right. Boxing or MMA?
Probably MMA.
MMA? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You like seeing all that blood?
You use more of your body.
All right. You have a choice here. You miss work for a month, no pay, or you miss a shower for a month. Which one you choose?
I guess miss work.
Miss work? Okay. I got that one. 5 shots of tequila or 3 Long Islands?
Ugh, I don't really drink.
You gotta choose. Come on for the game.
I can't take shots, so it has to be a Long Island.
A Long Island, all right.
Yeah, I don't drink.
One food or dish that you would eat every single day?
Pasta, probably.
Pasta?
Mm-hmm. Or like Spanish food.
Why? Because you can mix the sauces and stuff like that?
No, I just like it. Well, I'll just say Spanish food, maybe.
Spanish food, okay. And what's something that pisses you off?
Judgmental people.
Judgmental people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a good one.
It really does.
Really? All right. And the last one. What is your favorite song?
Of all time?
All time. Favorite song. And if you can sing a little piece of it.
I would say it's a Spanish song. It's called Luna by Ana Gabriel.
How does it go?
Can I just play it from my phone?
No,
I'll translate it. How about that? It's like, moon, you see him, tell him that I miss him.
Okay.
It's in Spanish, though.
In Spanish, probably sounds so good.
It's mariachi.
Really? Okay. Yeah. That's good. Well, Mariela, this was a great conversation. I think you definitely shed light on things that a lot of people, I was looking at a producer here today, he was over there making faces like, what? Like things that, the audience didn't know. So it's wonderful. And that's why I wanted to, again, interview you.
Thank you.
It's a blessing again to have you. Any last words you want to have for the audience at all?
Yeah, if you want to use me as a resource, and I say this to everybody, it's on my LinkedIn. I have my actual cell phone number on my LinkedIn because I am passionate to help the new community, whether that is being an administrator somewhere in the middle and health field.
Mm-hmm.
I have some friends that have transitioned to a hospital administrator or that have transitioned that said maybe marketing's more my thing or got into law. So I'd like to be that liaison if you need any assistance with that.
Yes, and she does respond. She does respond. And to everybody else on LinkedIn that don't respond to me, she responds. That's all I have to say. But
I would say I might not respond right away, but
no,
eventually.
she responds, yes. So
Thank you.
thank you for tuning in to another episode of Let's Get Comfy podcast. Please become a comfy listener. Please stay tuned as we'll be having additional episodes and other contents on the podcast, the Let's Get Comfy podcast on YouTube. So please subscribe, like, and comment. Our episodes will be dropping bi-weekly, right? So be on the lookout for all of our content. And when you look at it, hit the like button. All right. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to the support, right? Thank you so much. Peace.